Alright, so very simple, we're going to get on to tuning now. What's very nice about this rifle, like I said, anything from, we can go from a 13 grain all the way up to 40 grain. This is what makes this rifle so nice. Okay. Now, very simple. If you're starting out with the standard rifle, that is obviously the pellet probe, the standard superior liner, the standard internals. Now, everyone has their own little twist on stuff. This is my preference on how I like things to be done and what I've seen works the best. Anywhere from 75 until 130 is going to work the best on a standard tune. Once you start dropping lower than 75, you start getting too low speeds and your fluctuation starts going up and down. Now, anywhere above 130, the rig starts opening up too hard and the hammer is not heavy enough to open. So if you're going to shoot something like an 18 grain pellet, 75 rate at the back is the best. Obviously, just make sure you keep the difference between your two rigs from 20 to 50 bar. So that can mean 150 over here and 100 over there. That just needs to be the difference. Okay, so step it down to 50, 150, 100, which is very cool. Cool. Let's say we're now shooting for a pellet. Easily, we've got it now stepped down to, I'll say 125 over here, 75 here at the back. And then what's nice is because I have the lighter hammer in, I can play around with speed on this micro and macro wheel, which is very cool. Obviously, this plays a big role as well for me. As soon as you're shooting pellets, you don't have to have this valve that widely open. When you're shooting a pellet, it just needs a small burst of air to shoot it through. With a slug, you need a long burst of air. So this will not be that necessary to open up as wide as possible, but it's everyone to themselves, so however you plan on doing it. Cool. If you're going to go all the way up to a 23 grain slug, which is what this rifle will shoot max standard, you'll go up to 180 or 150 at the back, and then on your second rig you'll go up to 130. Okay, then here on the side we'll max it out at 16, we'll max it out at 3.5 to 4, and we'll turn this up all the way to 5. We call it line 5. Usually there's only 4 lines. The maximum on this is the 5th line. Now that will give you speeds of 950, 960, like I said, on the 23s. If you're moving up one, you're going onto your superior heavy liner, you're going onto your slug power kit, you're going to the more harder, harsher distance rifles. Now from there we can play anywhere from going up to 40 grains, even going in between. The best all-arounder that I've found for me is anywhere from 26, 30 and 34. That is just all-around best, but you do have amazing 40 grainers that are shooting extremely good distances and groupings. And then 23s and 21s as well surprise people sometimes. So very simple, 250, you're strapping this down to 200. Regardless if you're going to do a 26, 30, 34 or 40, it works the best for me. I just drop my second rate to 200 bar, but you can play anywhere from the region of 180 to 210. Cool. Here at the back you've got then obviously your second rig. That will set anywhere up from 100 bar all the way up to 150 bar. All again depending on what weight you are shooting. 150 bar being for the 40 grainers and 100 bar being for the 21 grainers or 23 grainers. Then you're on the side, obviously once you have your tungsten hammer in, you are very limited to how much you can adjust on your hammer due to the fact that it's going to constantly have this heavy hammer hitting the valve and opening it up. So from let's say 1 to 8, you're going to get a change in speed. Anywhere from there upwards, you're really stuck with what speed you're going to get. So the best thing is to put on 16 and play a lot with the micro back and forth, but also use a soft return valve spring here. Play around with this. This can change your accuracy quite a bit. Cool. So that's pretty much one of the standard tunes, and a slug ready gun tune and a standard gun tune that I have. But anything in between that gap you can play around. Look guys, you need to understand a pellet in that matter must change anything from 800 feet per second to 950 is where they play around it, which is where they group and where they don't. It's something you need to find. So I think with a slug, I recommend something from 900 all the way up to 1050 is where they work amazing. So anywhere in between that gap, and that's what makes this rifle nice and special, is that you can play around in that gap. Is once you've got it, you can go up, you can go down until you see that group and tighten, and you are happy with it. All right.